Okay, well, we have another beer today, another IPA, American IPA, as a matter of fact. This time coming from Troegs Brewery in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not entirely positive. I think this might be the first review that I've done from Troegs Brewing Company. I think it is. So, Troegs Brewing Company, I think their most famous beers probably the Nugget Nectar, which is widely considered one of the best beers in the world, and a lot of top 50 lists if you look on Beer Advocate overall for beer. Nugget Nectar definitely up there. They're also pretty famous for their Mad Elf Ale. Every winter they have a dark red, strong Belgian kind of ale that they brew, about 11.5% alcohol by volume, and that's a big time staple, especially in Pennsylvania, is Mad Elf Ale. Well, for years and years, Troegs Brewery had pale ales. They have even a barley wine, Flying Mouflon, and other kind of beers to go along with it. They hadn't boasted an IPA, which is pretty much unheard of, and they decided to kind of fool around a little bit. And as one of their Scratch Series beers, which they do a lot of Scratch Series beers, they decided to brew an IPA. They called it Perpetual IPA. And what they did was, I guess, the demand for that style of beer, which is more and more increasingly getting to be one of the more popular styles of beer out there. They decided to mass market it, mass produce it, and as of the time of this review, it's only been on the mass market about, I'm going to say about 2 or 3 weeks. So if you're watching this in the year 2017, you're like, what are you talking about? This is not a brand new beer. Well, just know that this is July of 2012, and that's why I'm saying that. Troegs Perpetual IPA is 7.5% alcohol by volume, so it's one of the more heavy hitter IPAs without it basically crossing over into that line of the double IPA. And being an East Coast kind of person myself, I'm always a little bit jealous of the West Coast IPAs, the Stones, the Green Flashes, and what have you. Usually the West Coast IPAs just unpopular opinion, blow the East Coast out of the water. I mean, I know with Victory, for example, and Hop Devil, that's one of the more widely, highly rated IPAs out there too, and that's a East Coast IPA. Fully aware of that. Also, Founders has a great IPA. Their Centennial is great. I know Cigar City has High Lie, which is a good IPA, but the vast majority of just world-class IPAs are considered to be in California, on the West Coast. I know Sierra Nevada brews one. I mean, Russian River, what more can you say about Russian River's double and triple IPAs that they have out? A lot of people consider them the best in the world. So this one is Troegs' attempt at an Imperial Pale Ale, and let's open this up right now. And we'll see if this is more of a East Coast kind of taste, like the Hop Devil, which is basically the glass we're pouring this into, or if it's kind of an attempt to recreate the West Coast. We're pouring it in right now, and if you remember our review of Hop Devil, we had a very dark kind of color of an IPA. This is very light. This is almost Pilsner-esque light as it pours into here. So this kind of one of the lighter, crisper kind of looking IPAs. By the way, I love the logo. Look at the logo, just a bunch of gears kind of moving right on either side of a tap, basically, and I guess keeping the pour into perpetuity, if you will. As we see a nice head that's not really dissipating too much, big and fluffy, and I can't get over the lightness of this IPA. It's one of the more lighter IPAs that I've seen. As we grab a whiff of it right now, wow! I'm telling you, I'm getting a citrusy floral bomb in my nose as soon as I just started smelling this. Definitely just a very, very pungent citrus scent. Kind of the aroma, the floral kind of aroma that a lot of double IPAs have. The hop, the beer Founders, I forget what it's called. Off the top of my head, I forget what it's called, but I'll remember it soon. But there's a Hop Slam. That's what it is. Hop Slam kind of reminds me a bit of the big floral sensation of Hop Slam. Now, that's a 10% alcohol beer. This is 7.5. This is a very, very reminiscent of a West Coast IPA, quite frankly, aroma-wise. Now let's grab a taste and see if the taste kind of matches up with it. Oh my gosh, this is so crisp and so floral and citrusy. It's a little bit of not quite a stone kind of IPA kind of taste to it. It's got a little more bite to it than a stone does, I believe. This kind of tastes like Hop Slam without the booziness of a Hop Slam, which is a good booziness, but it's still a little bit boozy. This is a hell of an IPA. I mean, I love Hop Devil to death. This one, I think, is an amazing, amazing taste, an amazing aroma, and as far as East Coast IPAs, I think Troegs just hit this one way out of the ballpark. I don't think there's even a question about it. I would have to give Troegs Perpetual IPA a 9.5 out of 10.